G'day guys, Dan here. Now, I really wanted to get you guys down the workshop this week, but we've kind of run out of time with all of the new products that we are releasing. So what we are gonna do is I'm just gonna give you a little but brief story of actually how DK started. DK started in 2016. It all came from an idea, well, a failed idea. The idea was that we grabbed our first child, fur baby, as my wife would call him, and that's Boss, just up here. Now, us working full time, he had to stay at home while we were working. And so we wanted to make sure that he always had water. So we brought one of these water stations that you would buy from a produce shop. Went through, installed it, and within about 30 minutes, Boss had destroyed it. He actually lifted that flap open, the flap open, got to the float, ripped the float out, and it was just water everywhere. So, my wife goes, well, you're a sheetie, make one. Literally in that tone, make one. So, we went forward, started designing the pet rehydration station. We started as a bit of a side hustle, and we built it to where we are today. So while we were getting this side hustle off the ground, I was still working full time. And the only space that we really had was our spare bedroom. So I would go through and get everything laser cut and bent outside. I worked for a very large manufacturing company. They are awesome, by the way. Those who know who I worked for previously, you know they are awesome, and they're a really, really good company. And so I got all that laser cutting and folding through them, and I went home and welded them up, assembled, shipped them out literally from that spare bedroom. So a typical day would be obviously working full time. I'll be there by 7, I'll be home by 5. Come home, have dinner, and then I'd literally go straight into that spare bedroom from about 7 o'clock all the way through to about 10 or 11. Making the actual rehydration stations and packaging them together, while also doing some of the socials, but then I kind of push them over to my wife because that's more of her forte. If you guys were lucky enough back in the day to grab one of our stations when we first started, you would have noticed that they were actually in wooden crates. I actually handmade every single wooden crate and assembled all the stations and put them inside. Those things were literally bulletproof. You can throw them and the stations would not fall apart. Nothing would get damaged inside. A lot of people actually pulled the crates apart and actually made them into either toy boxes. I had one customer that made a billy cart out of it. Kudos to you, that's awesome. So yeah, but obviously as we started to scale, we needed to find a more sustainable way of doing things, and hence why we moved to our heavy duty boxes. So as you guys saw in last week's video, you would have seen us removing that press brake, and inside that shed is actually where we had moved to from that spare room. So we moved from the spare room to the shed out the back that I had to build. From there, we've actually moved in to the shed that we are in right now, the actual workshop, which now that we are in this workshop, we actually have full control of laser cutting, folding. Everything is now done in-house. So we were able to really, really tweak the finer parts of the stations just to make sure that the quality is just far superior than anything else in the market. And having this shed has enabled us to do that. So we've really seen a massive, massive growth, and it's all thanks to you guys. Having that ability to laser cut and fold everything in-house, as well as then go through and manufacture and assemble it, has allowed us to really open the doors and actually go down the vision or the pathway where I really want to see DK. And that was looking after not only the hydration side, but the feeding side, the transport side, and there's one more, which you guys will see probably later in the year, and that's the other facet. So we're trying to look after the whole facet of your pets. Guys, I know I haven't probably covered everything that what you guys would like to know. So by all means, keep sending us messages, keep commenting. Any questions that you have, we are more than happy to answer them and actually love answering them. So make sure you also subscribe down below and tick that little bell icon to make sure that you are notified every time we do a new video. But yeah, have a great weekend, guys. All right, guys, on a quick side note, these bad boys have literally just been released. You can find them at dkstones.com.au, and we have them in the standard and the extra large. Get amongst it, guys.